married young. I think maybe I was in 10th grade, 16 years old, when I left school. Met a little girl from Oakley, Clavinell, a little place about 5 miles north of Newmarket. Both went to Newmarket School, and we got married. I was 16 and she was 15. Yeah, me and my first wife married. We went to Iuka. You could get married easily in Iuka. And we went in. They wanted to know, was we 18, 21? We told them it was. We weren't. So it didn't take no time. He gave us a little certificate there, and we give him $10 or $15 and come on back. I think maybe I had $20 when I got back to live off of, $20. But and some chewing gum. We had some chewing gum too. We started on faith in my first marriage. It was purely faith, is all it was. My first wife died in '78. Relatively young. She was 40 years old at the time of death. As I said, we had 3 children. And in about 6 months' time after that, I met, I didn't meet her. She'd always been in the congregation. She'd heard me preach time and time again before. But she'd never been married. And my mind was taken to her, and her name was Ruth Fanning. Melba Ruth Fanning, and we married in January 13th. January the 13th. Me and my wife, Elizabeth, we married December the 26th, 52. Me and Elizabeth married in 52. Me and Melba Ruth, we married in 79, after she had died in 78. And we've been married to this day longer than me and my first wife had married. Me and my first wife had been married 25 years. Me and her have been married now upwards of 35 years.
37.
37. Ruth was always, so not outgoing or anything like that. You would take the view that, well, she could just be run over and done this way and that way. But after we had married, we had a little spat, and she told me, I told her, to get it correct here, I told her in the car that she wasn't a woman that I thought she was before I married her. And she said, yeah, and says, I tell you, said, you're not the man I thought you was between 10 and 11 before I married you too. Preaching on between 10 and 11, That shut me up. I had nothing else to say after that. She's been a mother to my 3 children. Never failed to come in, but what she done asked them, y'all hungry. She's ready to always feed them. And she's highly respected by them and highly loved by me, like my first wife was. And I don't never make no comparison. I love them both, and I'm just blessed. Thank every day. I've told her I know many times how blessed I am to have her. And I went out there.
That's playing Cowboys and Indians.
They played Cowboys and Indians, and had Dexter up on a stool or a chair or something there, and just had rope around the limb, burning him along like that. And Dexter, just as patient as he could be, he thought they were playing, and they were playing. But I went out there and I said, "Boys, you don't want to do that." I said, "What that chair was to fall out on him or something like that, you'd hang him." Yeah, he was. Dexter was either the cowboy, the Indian, I think, and they had him up on that chair. And they had to tie it up. They'd really hung him. Something happened to that chair under him.
How old were they?
Huh?
How old were they?
I don't know. He must have been about. How old would you say they were?
I don't
Oh,
know.
he was about.
I've heard you tell me.
I guess they must have been 7, 8, 9 years old. Well, that's. We drove up over there at the store, and Max and Dexter. I don't know which one was driving, but they just little bitty babies. And I jumped out of the car, and you know how little it is. You jump up on the stern wheel like that. I jumped out of the car and run into the store to get something in a hurry. That woman there said, your car's running back across the road there. And I looked out there, there one of them was at that wheel, that car running across the road. And here I go to catch the car and it goes across the road.
They made playhouse in the way.
Oh, they made I played in the well. The well had buckled in about 10 foot down, I guess. And they'd made a house out of that well. It was climbing down in it and everything. I kept seeing them going down there, you know, and back of the house and everything. And it wasn't nothing but just a little wooded area there, and there's no well in it. And I went down there to see what it was. And I looked down, and them boys had made a playhouse down in that well, you know. Well, that thing, they went all the way to the bottom of that thing. Some things like that, you know, that happened in the past, but I about forgot all of that. But all in all, they were good children. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. We just made a trip to Texas, and we went in first class. Brother John Howard let us have his van, 3-seated van, a big one. And Max, Dexter, and Darrell, me and Brother Lloyd Simmons, that's my wife's brother, first wife's brother. And we picked up a song leader in Memphis. And while we were out there, they're so careful with me, you know, they would of course I'm old, I'm glad of it now, but Dexter and Max and Darrell did all the driving, and they taken care of me. Wherever you got out of that car, well, I'm subject to fault. I'm not like I used to be, you know. I'm getting old. Notwithstanding what that woman said up there, said, "Oh," said, "you don't look like you're going on 80 years old." Well, I feel like it now. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. I sure am. The Lord has greatly blessed me. And I've depended upon Him, looked to Him, trusted in Him all these many years. And I must say it, He hadn't surprised me. He's kept His promise. He's kept His promise. And to this day, I still trust Him as much as I ever did. Look to Him for all things.